Today on Straight Talk Africa, U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton has completed her 9-nation tour of Africa, perhaps her last non-official capacity. Her top diplomat for African affairs, Ambassador Johnnie Carson, was with her, and I'm going one-on-one with him next on Straight Talk Africa. Hello, welcome to Straight Talk Africa, live from the Voice of America studios here in Washington. It's Wednesday, August 15th. I am Shaka Ssali. Today, we have a one-on-one conversation with the United States' top diplomat on Africa as we look back at the recent trip by U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton to the continent. For U.S.-African relations, the U.S. Secretary of State's 9-nation 11-day trip to the continent was long on both style and substance. My colleague Paul Cisco has more.
Hillary Clinton. She took to the dance floor in South Africa, posed with old friend Nelson Mandela at his home, met another old friend in Malawi, where she also visited dairy farmers benefiting from U.S. assistance. The Secretary of State was greeted by heads of state everywhere she went, watched drones at work with the military and leaders in Uganda, talked with AIDS victims, praised healthcare workers, and spoke with business and civic heads, and the next generation of African leaders at the University of Western Cape in Cape Town, South Africa.
I've often heard it said that African problems need African solutions. Well, I'm here to say that some of our global problems need African solutions, too.
The trip began in Senegal, where she met with President Macky Sall, passed out mosquito nets, and gave a major policy address.
As proud as we are to see the successful elections and the peaceful transitions, there are still too many places in this region and across the continent where democracy is threatened, where human rights are abused, where the rule of law is undermined. Violent extremism, transnational crime, and rampant corruption all threaten democracy. It is past time for all leaders to accept accountability, to treat their people with dignity, to respect their rights, to deliver economic opportunity and services for all. The days of having outsiders come and extract the wealth of Africa for themselves, leaving nothing or very little behind, should be over in the 21st century.
HIV/AIDS was high on Clinton's African agenda. She visited several clinics and on a military base in Uganda, where special forces are continuing the hunt for LRA leader Joseph Kony, she cautioned against relaxing HIV prevention programs.
And new infections are on the rise again. I had the opportunity to discuss this with the president and with the minister. Uganda is now the only country in sub-Saharan Africa where the rate of HIV is going up instead of going down. Now, I know that Ugandans, when you put your mind to something, can really get it done. So I'm hoping that together we can work on making prevention the focus again.
After a warm welcome from Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan in Abuja, she reaffirmed U.S. support.
Because we really believe that the future for Nigeria is limitless.
Secretary Clinton met with President Salva Kiir in Juba, South Sudan, and also met Kenya's leadership in Nairobi, where she praised that nation's election reforms and commented on agreement finally reached by South Sudan and Sudan over oil in its troubled border region.
This agreement reflects leadership and a new spirit of compromise on both sides.
The Secretary attended somber ceremonies for the late President John Atta Mills in Ghana. And as the U.S. Secretary of State ended her extensive African trip, perhaps her last in an official capacity, the U.S. Congress announced an extension of the African Growth and Opportunity Act, ensuring positive U.S. trade relations through 2015. Paul Cisco, VOA News.